Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 4. It is round 8. Let's go to the first game. It's West Coast versus Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter of this game. All right, the first quarter's done. Western Bulldogs kicked 4 goals, 1 to West Coast 2-2. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, half-time, Western Bulldogs are up by 6 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter's done. Western Bulldogs kicked 1-5 to West Coast 1-3. And the Western Bulldogs are up by 8 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And the Western Bulldogs have won this game by 19 points. They've kicked 3-5 to 1-6 in the last quarter. The final scores, West Coast 7-17, 59 to Western Bulldogs 11-12, 78. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Carlton versus Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. First quarter's done. Even, 29 apiece. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter's done. Fremantle come out, kick 3 goals, 5 to Carlton 1-6 at half time. Fremantle are up by 11 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter, Fremantle have kicked 6 goals, 3 to Carlton 2-5. And in a blink of an eye, the three-quarter time, Fremantle are up by 33 points. All right, let's go to the last quarter. And the last quarter, Fremantle won it. They've won the game by 34 points. Final scores, Carlton 9-22, 76 to Fremantle 16-14, 1-1-0. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Brisbane versus Richmond at the Gabba. First quarter's done. Richmond have kicked 6 goals, 2 to Brisbane 5-3. Richmond are up by 5 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, half-time, Richmond are up by 4 points. Pretty even that quarter, 5-2 to Brisbane, 5-1 Richmond. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter's done. Brisbane have kicked 4 goals, 3 to Richmond, 3-1. And Brisbane are up by 4 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And in the end, Richmond have won by 10 points against Brisbane. The final scores, Brisbane 16-13, 109 to Richmond 19-5, 119. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Geelong versus GWS Giants. And the first quarter's done. Geelong have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Giants, 1-6, 12. Geelong are up by 25 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter's done. Geelong have come out, kicked 6 goals, 3 to GWS, 5-3. And at half time, Geelong are up by 31 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Geelong have kicked 5 goals, 5 to GWS, 1-6. And Geelong, they had another big quarter. They're up by 54 points. All right, Geelong have won this game, but how much by? Geelong have won by 52 points. They kicked 4 goals, 1 to GWS, 4-3. So GWS in the last quarter won that game by 2 points. All right, final scores, Geelong 21-10, 136 to GWS 11-18, 84. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Melbourne versus Adelaide at the MCG. And Melbourne have come out. They've kicked 6 goals, 6 to Adelaide, 1-6. Let's go to the second quarter. The second quarter, Adelaide came out, kicked 6 goals, 6 to Melbourne, 1-3. And at half time, Adelaide are up by 3 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter's done. Melbourne kicked 5-1 to Adelaide 4-1, and Melbourne are up by 3 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And in the end, Melbourne have won by 5 points. Final scores: Melbourne 13-16-94 to Adelaide 12-17-89. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Sydney versus Port Adelaide at the SCG. And Port Adelaide have kicked 4 goals, 1 to Sydney, 1-4 in that first quarter. Port Adelaide are up by 15 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Port Adelaide are up by 5 points, but Sydney kicked 3 goals, 4 to Port Adelaide, 1-6 in that second quarter. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter, Port Adelaide are up by 15 points. Port Adelaide kicked 6 goals, 2 to Sydney, 4 goals, 4 in that third quarter. Port Adelaide are up by 15 points. Let's see who wins. And Port Adelaide, in the end, have won this game by 19 points. Sydney final score 10-17-77 to Port Adelaide 14-12-96. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Essendon versus Collingwood at Marvel Stadium. And the first quarter's done. Collingwood are up by 5 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter's done. And Essendon kicked 5 goals, 4 to Collingwood, 1-6. And at half time, Essendon are up by 17 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter, Essendon kicked 6 goals, 2 to 2-5 Collingwood. And Essendon are up by 38 points. All right, let's go to the last quarter. And Essendon have scraped in. It was a big quarter by Collingwood. They kicked 6 goals, 5 to Essendon, 1-3. And Essendon, in the end, have just won by 6 points. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Gold Coast versus St Kilda. And first quarter is even, 6-3 apiece. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, St Kilda have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Gold Coast, 1-6. And St Kilda are up by 23 points at half time. Let's go to the third quarter. Gold Coast, they kicked 4 goals, 2 to St Kilda, 1-6 in the third quarter. St Kilda are still up by 9 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And the last quarter, Gold Coast have come over the top and they've won by 3 points. They kicked 3 goals, 1 to St Kilda, 1-1 in the last quarter. Final scores: Gold Coast 14-12-96 to St Kilda 13-15-93. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It's Hawthorn versus North Melbourne. North Melbourne are on top of the leaderboard, and in the first quarter, Hawthorn have come out on top by 5 points. Hawthorn in the second quarter have kicked 6 goals, 5 to North Melbourne, 1-2. And at half time, North Melbourne are down by 38 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter, Hawthorn kicked 2-1 to North Melbourne, 5-3. And North Melbourne are still down by 18 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And in the end, Hawthorn have won this game by 28 points. Hawthorn final score 15-12-102 to North Melbourne 10-14-74. And let's go to the ladder at the moment. We've got Essendon on top with that win against Collingwood, and North Melbourne second with that loss against Hawthorn. They couldn't keep the winning streak going. Then we've got Western Bulldogs in third place, and then we've got Brisbane fourth. And then the remaining 4 teams in the 8 are Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns, St Kilda, and Richmond. All right, that concludes round 8 for AFT Dice Season 4. We'll see you next time.